The officials gave the Eagles a hard time last night. I can't imagine what they'd be saying if some of those questionable calls had gone the other way. It would be crickets out of Philadelphia right now. If,
what were the questionable ones?
Well, the one that they are the most upset about,
Yes.
and obviously last night the Commanders beat the Eagles, their first loss, the Miami Dolphins from 1972, when they eventually wake up today and realize what happened.
Pop the champagne.
Put their dentures in and pop the champagne. I'm sorry. See,
that was such a low blow. I mean, you acted like they didn't watch last night. You think they're too late? They're too old. They went to bed early last night.
Yeah, they go to bed early. They're old. See, when you reach the point, and you'll get there if you're lucky to live long enough, where people start making fun of you for being old.
Right.
You pass that along to anybody who's older than you. I mean, if nobody else around me is going to respect their elders, then my elders can go for themselves. As far as I'm concerned, they're going to hear it from me. So after Larry Zonka put his dentures in, he pried open a bottle of champagne with them, and they're having a party today. We can start at the end and work backward. The Brandon Graham hit on Taylor Heinicke that took away any legitimate last gasp for the Eagles.
Right.
Where Heinicke makes the smart play here. It's 3rd and 7. You don't want to throw an incompletion. The Eagles still have a timeout. You want to hit the deck and accept it and punt it away. Smart by Heinicke. Down he goes. But he's clearly down, and in comes Brandon Graham. That was completely unnecessary.
Exactly.
It was a brain fart by him.
Right.
And people lost their minds. People are like, well, how can you throw that flag? I mean, are you
kidding me? Are we watching football anymore?
He clearly gave himself up.
Yeah.
And Graham said after the game, I thought he was going to get up. What about that? What about there's some sort of okey-doke, rope-a-dope to continue the boxing thing, that he's going to pretend to be down and then get up? If you understand anything about the sport that you are paid a handsome living to play, you know that in that spot, wherever the person is on the field, quarterback behind the line of scrimmage or a running back 30 yards down the field, although good luck if you're a running back getting that call, that's a different issue. But you know, and you know how sensitive they are about quarterbacks anyway.
Yeah.
That he was clearly down, and people are like, what could Graham have done? Not ram into him. Roll away from him.
What?
Don't dive at him. He dove at him when he was down. He clearly was down.
Yeah.
And Eagles fans aren't happy about it. But again, if it had happened to Jalen Hurts, they'd be marching on a 345 Park Avenue now. They'd have walked straight there from the stadium to Manhattan.
Agreed. That's where I'm a little surprised, just watching like highlights on different channels after the game, is that people were talking about this like wow, this was a controversy. I mean,
no.
Hey, guys, let's play it again in the back. If we could play – I mean, there's
nothing controversial about this. Nothing controversial about this.
In 2022 NFL,
there's an obligation on the fans to pull your head out of your ass on something like this.
Yeah, stop being so biased. I wanted to see Jalen Hurts get the ball with a chance to win too. I mean, I wanted to see that. But let's go. He goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a dive. I mean, are you kidding me? That's Pee-wee football. That's a late hit. NFL, of course, it's a late hit. He took 4 extra steps when he saw him hit the ground and then dove. Now, one of the things that I feel like here in this, he's down. They're trying to get their sack, right? So they want to be the first guy to touch him. I think that's the first problem, and that's why they want that sack.
Gotta get my sack.
Exactly right.
Good
so
point.
They get caught in that emotional, let me get there and get him real quick so I can get it.
I want to touch him.
No doubt about it. They can say all they want.
Let me get there before Reddick.
No doubt. Exactly. And, I think mid-dive, he realizes, oh, no, I've put myself in a spot where I could get in trouble here. And he's mid-dive trying to pull back. And again, it wasn't an egregious hit as far as like the impact and how aggressive the contact was. But obviously, I mean, he had given himself up. When we see that in the middle of the field anywhere, that was just way too many steps, way too long. And, of course, it's the quarterback, and we know the extra protection there. So, yeah, as much as I wanted to see Jalen Hurts in that moment and enjoy that last minute of the game, that was totally the right call, and I don't know how anybody can even argue that.
Here is Brandon Graham after the Eagles lost to the Commanders talking about that penalty and essentially why he did what he did.
I wish I could have that call back, but at the end of the day, we wish we could have a bunch of calls back. But you know what? They won. It was, for me, I just want to make up for it by what I do next week, how I respond. So I'm going to take that one on the chin. Of course, we are going to just flush it and move on, but I'm definitely going to take that one, make sure, next time, I don't let the team down in a situation like that.
Did the refs give you any kind of explanation for why they called it?
No, we can't put the refs, we can't put the game in the refs' hands. So in that position, I just got to know, just, if he go down, it's okay. I mean, for me, I was just hustling to the plate, just trying to make sure he was down and just trying to get off the field. But,
did you see him go down, or were you trying
to? I was just trying to touch him down, because, it just looked like he was going to get up, you know what I'm saying? But it just never know. But that's on me. I'm on that one. It's on me.
Every once in a while, the truth almost comes out. I was trying to touch him down because I got an incentive in my contract that pays me another X million dollars if I have so many sacks, and I don't know that he does, but he wanted the sack, and he stopped himself. He stopped himself before he came out and said, I want the sack.
I know, Mike.
Because then he looked selfish. I wanted the sack.
Right.
I was trying to touch him because I thought he might get up. I was trying to touch him because
touch him down.
There was a snake. I saw a snake. I mean, whatever it was, anything other than the truth, I thought I was going to get the sack.
I really thought that's what I saw, during the game. And I know D linemen, and that's how they act. And, of course, I understand. They want that sack is, it determines a lot of things in their life. So I do understand that. But this is a moment where you just can't let that emotion take over. The sack's not worth it in that moment. And Brendan Graham, as awesome as he is, and we know he's an ultimate team guy, and he never does stuff like that, really. It was surprising from that manner. But, you'd have a hard time making me not believe that getting that sack on the stat sheet wasn't a part of let me get there and go kamikaze just for a few extra steps so I can get there first.
Alex Kemp, the game's referee, said after the game, because they don't make the officials available for press conferences, but they will make the referee or Walt Anderson, the senior VP of officiating. He did a couple of pool reports. It's a bad weekend if you do more than one pool report. It's a questionable officiating scenario when the head of officiating is doing multiple pool reports. But Alex Kemp said that Heinicke had clearly given himself up, and there was contact in the head and neck area. That's key, too. Late hit, and he hit him in the head and neck area. So even if, now, it's a tougher mental pretzel to get people to understand that if Heinicke was playing some sort of a rope-a-dope game, you still can't hit him in the head because he deliberately went down to the ground and made it impossible to hit him without hitting him in the head.
Right.
But the point is, not only was he down, but Graham goes in and hits him in the helmet while he's down.
Yeah, double whammy.
And it's not two penalties. It's just, hey, Eagles fans, to the extent that you're pissed off about this, remember he also hit him in the head.
Right.
Not only was he down, but he also hit him in the head. Although bottom line is, you're right. He wanted to win the race. He wanted to maybe I'll get a half sack out of this.
Right.
And the end result is the Eagles have no chance at the final moments of the game to do anything other than a Stanford band play that resulted in a touchdown for the Commanders, making the margin even worse than it was, 30-21 instead of 23 or whatever it was, 33-21. Was it
32-21?
32-21.
Yeah,
that's right. Because when there's a score on the final play of the game, now if the extra point is irrelevant, they don't do it anymore. That's something they added several years ago. I think after the Minneapolis Miracle, because after that moment they had to go do an extra. It's like, why are we doing an extra point here? The game's over. This point means nothing to anybody. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.